How are you all?
Fine.
I don't, even though I want you to be quiet as possible, but I don't want you to be tense. I want you to loosen up. I want you to relax. Uh, this is not the normal service that we're going through. It's a conference, a teaching conference where we're going to interact intelligently. So I want you to be very free. I don't want you to be tense or stressed. Just be free and do it intelligently. Uh, we started last week Sunday, and we started with emphasizing on family life. And last Sunday we talked about the institution of marriage. We talked about God's concept of marriage and part of family government. I really didn't go into depth on the teaching because I thought it was only for the Sunday school. I didn't know that we would run into. Do we have heater on? Why am I cold?
Just turn it on.
Family government. Hallelujah. Human beings are warm-blooded animals. We're not cold-blooded animals. So today,
Y'all know your voice is in the recording. Can y'all please?
today, which is the second Sunday, we will be emphasizing on the place of communication, sex in marriage. Just communication alone, I can teach that for 1 whole year. So I will just give some points. Maybe sex in marriage. Most of you can ask questions for the whole year. So I'm going to teach on the briefly and give you the opportunity to ask questions. And then the third Sunday we'll be talking on financing your home or God's provision for your home. That's money matters. Then also we're going to do with dealing with in-laws and then raising godly children. The fourth Sunday we'll be talking on finding the right partner for marriage, dealing with divorce and remarriage, and then dealing with unfaithfulness in marriages. The reason why I'm giving these outlines is that so you won't really change the topic. Because when you change the topic and ask questions that were not really based on, then people that want to learn on what we're talking about now, they don't get the opportunity to learn what we're talking about. So everything that has to do with raising children, training children, like the way you did last Sunday, please don't ask those questions. Those questions should be for next Sunday, because we'll talk on it and we'll emphasize on it, and then you will have the time and the opportunity to ask questions. So everything concerning asking training children, don't ask, please, don't ask. So what you'll be asking will be basically what has to do with communication in marriage. You can still talk about children when it has to do with communication with them, or but communication in marriage, and then sex in marriage. Hallelujah. Do you understand that? And when it has to deal with divorce, we'll be dealing with that for the fourth Sunday. Finance or money will be for the third Sunday. So please, let's order our questions the right way in Jesus' mighty name. Communication in marriage. I'll start first with communication in marriage, and then we'll go to sex in marriage. Hallelujah. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Amen.
All right. Everything is amen. Nobody can say yes in the church. Are you ready?
Yes.
We like guys so more spiritual. Nobody wants to say yes. Hallelujah. So let's talk about communication. To me, communication is one of the most vital tools in marriage, and the lack of it can actually be the cause of many breakups, many separations, many divorces. So we're going to talk about communication for a while, because what brings people together is communication. What is communication? Communication is defined as the act of passing across news, information, feeling to someone and receiving it also. It's the act of passing. It's the act of passing. It's the act of passing across a news, an information, a piece of information, or a feeling to another person, and vice versa, and you receiving it. It's the act of passing. Communication also means to talk with. Communication also means what? To talk with. Communication means to talk with. To talk with. Now, there's a difference between talking to and talking with. When I tell somebody I want to talk to you, that means I don't want to hear that person. Are you understand what I'm saying? When you tell somebody I want to talk to you, you tell your children or you tell somebody that you're training or tell somebody I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Did I ask you to talk? When you're talking to somebody, you're not asking the person to talk. But when you're communicating, that's what prayer is, communication with God. But most of us see prayer as communication, talking to God. When you are praying, you are talking with God. That means you speak to Him and expect Him to speak back to you. That's what prayer is all about. It's not a one-way street. You talk to God and God talk to you. So communication is talking to a person, giving the person information, and expect the person to talk to you back. You speak with the person. So in marriage is about communication, which is talking with the next person, relating with the next person, not just talking to the person. Unfortunately, most men just like it to be the opposite. Most men just want to be the ones that will talk, and sometimes most men just want to be the one that will talk. But communication is two-way streams. It's two-way streets. You have to talk and be willing to be spoken to. That is so much important. So do we understand that? Do we understand that?
Yes.
Now, having said that, I want to give some small tips on the issue about communication. Now, when we talk about communication, that there are four basic components. There are four basic components or components of communication. Number one is word or words. When we talk about communication, we talk about words. We're talking about words. When you are communicating, when you are speaking to someone, or when you're talking to someone, or when somebody's talking to you, they are using words. Communication has to do with words. Communication has to do with words. You can't say, if you went to a counselor to settle your case, and then the counselor is saying that your husband is saying that you're not really talking to him. He said, I'm talking to him. You can't be talking to your husband or talking to your wife and you're not using words. Communication has to do with words. So when you're communicating, you have to use words. When something is paining you, you have to express it in words. When you feel certain way about your spouse, you have to express it in words. Unfortunately, most men don't like to talk. Most men do not like to use words. Most men find it difficult to tell their wives that they have been married to for more than 5 years, I love you, including me. Most men, if they haven't been married for a very long time, most men are, especially African men. Most African men, it's not that we don't love our wife. We love our wife. We take care of our wife. We don't cheat on our wife. But just to use the word "I love you" because we didn't grow up with it, you feel that kind of way. So sometimes my wife will say, "Tell me I love you." I said, "Well, I love you." I'm gonna be saying I love you. You're a white man. I'm not a white man to be telling you I love you every day. I love you every day. But that's part of communication. You have to learn it. So when you're communicating, you have to use words. If you love your wife, you have to say, "I love you." You can say, but she understand. I do all the things, but she understand. No, but you have to use words. You understand what I'm saying? So communication, one of the first components of communication is words. Don't assume the person know it, and that's a mistake that we make in communication. We assume that the person should know. They should know, and these things can relate to every aspect of our relationship, whether it's sex or in children. Do not assume. You must use words. You must use words. Don't assume. We usually say that assumption is the mother of frustration. You assume most of the time that the person should know, but he should know, but she should know. Sometimes the person don't know that's how you feel. Sometimes the person don't know that this particular thing is hurting him. You use words. So the first component of communication, if you want to be a very good communicator, then you must know how to use words. You must know how to use words, and you must know how to receive words also. Because I said communication is speaking with, not speaking to alone. You're speaking to the person, and you're also receiving from the person. So you must know how to use words, and you must know how to receive words also. That is encoding and decoding. Encoding, that is giving, and decoding, receiving. Hallelujah. Do you understand that? Then the second component of communication is tune. Is what? Is tune. Tune. Your tone. Sorry. Your tone. T-O-N-E. Your tune. Your tune is T-O-N-E and T-U-N-E also. Your tune. The tone that you use when you are using your words is very much important. It's very, very much important.
in communication, tone is so much important because if you are not using the right tone, your communication can be misunderstood. Somebody can tell you good morning and you smile, and another person can tell you good morning and you get angry. What's the difference? The tone. Somebody can tell you sorry and say, okay, let's do it. Somebody can tell you sorry and you say, I'm not going to forgive you. Why? The tone of the person. And most of the times we'll say, but I know I meant bad. I didn't say bad, but your tone was not right. Your tone was not right. Your tone was not right. This is why it is not really good to communicate words when you're angry, because then your tone is different. Your tone is different, and sometimes you say things in a very harsh way that after when you are explaining, you say, but I didn't say it like that, or you said it like that. You see, your tone is so much important. So when you are communicating, you have to be in the right frame of mind. You have to be in the right spirit. And also when you are receiving communication, it's so much important. So your tone is so much, women most of the times don't understand tone. Women most of the times don't understand tone. Most of the time they are so stressed out, children and this other thing, and so sometimes when they are saying things to their husband, they may say in a very harsh way. And if the husband is a very rough person that likes to feel like he's the man, you talk to him that kind of way, he feels hurt. And so you men like to be and respected. So you must know how to control your tone. Let me tell you, you can get anybody to do what you wanted to do based on the way you will frame your tone. Based on the way you use your tone. I tell, and for instance, when you compare, what's the president name? Barack Obama and Trump. The difference between them to me is tone. It's just tone. It's not that maybe Trump is bad or he's rude and Barack is nice. To me, it's just tone. To me, I've observed them, it's just tone. Barack is very diplomatic. He knows how to euphemize and how to make bad to sound so good. His tone. He knows how to soften your pain. He can still be hitting you and still be making it soft. He's still making it soft. So if you understand that, people can like you more. And that's why he's the people's president. And you can apply that in your home, but apply that from a very good heart now. You can apply it in your home. Even don't be deceptive and flattery. And you want to speak something in a right tone. In a right tone, use the right tone. Even though communication is about words, but use the right tone. And communication is receiving. So when somebody is saying something to you in a wrong tone, you must understand the place the person is coming from, because communication is not just speaking. People sometimes, your spouse sometimes may say something to you in a wrong tone. In a wrong tone. And if you are a child of God, you must be wise enough to say, this is not him. He's saying this, but this is not him. Naturally, he or she will not tell me this particular kind of thing. Naturally, my wife will not shout at me like this. So something is making her to shout at me like that. So you must understand it. And you understand what I'm saying? So you should understand tone. That maybe if your wife or your spouse or your tells you a thing and it's strange, something may have caused her to do that way, to say it that way. So you should understand. And you understand what I'm saying? You should understand. Tone is so much important. Communication first is words, then is tone. We must understand tone. To understand how to talk, and when our spouse is speaking, we should understand their tone. We should understand that too. We should understand their tone is so much important. Then the third component of communication is body language. Your body language. Your body language is very much important. You see, what you are saying. What you are saying. Somebody said that what you are saying, I just cannot hear it because what you are doing is louder than what you are saying. What you are doing is louder than what you are saying. Your body language means your action. You have heard the words that said that actions, they speak louder than words. While you are telling your children, don't do this, they are saying you do that. I don't care, you are communicating things to them in words with harsh tones. They will not understand you. So when you put it on a scale from 1 to 10, words will just maybe like 3. Tone will be like 5. But your body language will be almost like 8 or 9. Because people understand body language more than even your words or your tone. People understand body language more than your words or your tone. You may be saying something to a child, or you may be saying something to your wife or your husband, but if your body language is different, okay, for instance, the way a lot of ladies like for men to say I love you, I mean, I was supposed to say I love you. I say most African men don't use that communication words I love you because the way they grew up. But if the man has a very good body language, that means action is saying more than that words that I love you, the woman really would not have problem with it, right? She really would not have problem. I say I myself, if I fall into that category, I seldomly tell my wife I love you. I seldomly tell her, but she knows I love because everything I do say that I love her. You know what I'm saying? Everything I do. But if you are the man that I mean you are a star, you know how to tell your wife always, sweetheart, you know I love you, baby, I love you. But the thing that you're doing is just contrary to love. It's contrary to love. It's contrary to love. You come home drunk, you have girlfriends, you don't provide, you talk to her rudely, but you tell, baby, I love you. Which one do you want? Is it? So the body language is so much important. Your body language is another component of communication. So while you are speaking to somebody, make sure your body language is in synchronization, it's in alignment to what you are saying, to your tone. Your body language must match what you are saying. Your body language must match what you are saying. I used to have a almost brother-in-law. He should have gotten married to my elder sister. So when I went to Monrovia, I left Guinea and I went to Monrovia. And then my father had not built a house yet, and so I had to live with him. And so while we lived in the same house, he used to say, he said, Joe, there's something I say, but you don't like too much girlfriend. I just see you just one girlfriend. No, let me tell you, if you don't know how to approach girls, I will tell you how to approach girls. I say, hey, so how to approach girls? He said, you have to be very practical. So he's teaching me how to approach girls. I was just out of high school. He's teaching me how to approach girls. He said, when you go to approach girls, you be very practical. Don't use too much words. Be practical. Touch them. Touch them some part. He said, what you're saying in a negative way is that your body language should speak more than your words. Your body language, and that's a negative aspect of it. Your body language. He's trying to say that people understand body language more than words. People understand body language is a major aspect of communication. And that's why most of the time people have problems with in-laws, people have problems with friends, and because your body language, people say, look at what she looking at me. The way your wife can look at someone, poke out the house. I mean, I'm not going to your house again. Your wife will poke out to your house. Your wife don't want to put a gun to you. Your body language. Your husband, how your family comes to the house, looking at them up and down. You don't really the way you treat them. You are telling them, oh, you welcome, oh, you look like kind of way. I mean, your words are not matching what you are saying. I mean, your body.